All right, guys, welcome back to another stage or step. We're now entering into phase 3. And so everything you've learned up until now has really given you the foundation, the strategy, and the procedure or the system that you need to put more money in the bank, right? Utilizing the people you already know, the relationships that you can develop, and then using those folks to add referrals to your business, using your past clients to add continued referrals to your business, then going to create relationships with those folks to continue to build and develop and grow, right? And so that's what we've been able to that's what we've been able to put together in the time that you've been watching this and growing with us and consistency and following the method for what the method is, right? Now, right now we're going to get into identifying the perfect client, creating the proper follow-up, understanding the perfect avatar, and having certain things in place. Now, you're going to hear things that you've already heard, but you might hear them in different aspects, right? Ideally, we'll put this together for you. And again, you're going to hear some things that you didn't hear before, and that's all right. We'll rock and roll into this, and we'll make it happen so that you're better understanding. And again, the more repetitive we are, the more it becomes sticky, right? It becomes sticky information. It stays in your brain, and you continue to push forward. You continue to grow. You continue to develop, and you continue to build the things that you want to build, right? So this is kind of a little bit of a summary, right? But I want you to write this down because this is the way that we're going to function, right? And so we're identifying the perfect market or buyer, right? So depending on what your position is, you're identifying the perfect market or buyer. Market's important, type of buyer is important, right? Okay, so identify market / buyer. And guys, once again, you're gonna see me looking over because I have my notes, got 4 screens in front of me. I keep saying that every video, but just for those of you that see me going like this, nobody's over there telling me what to say next. I'm looking at my notes, okay? All right, so next thing is understand or see their current reality, right? So see their current reality. Next, what do they want to buy? Okay, so what do they, and then we're going to put this in capital letters, want to buy. They want and need may sometimes be 2 different things. And we'll dig into that quite a bit, a little bit, right? All right, figure out the solution for their problem. So we've talked about this quite a bit. Figure out the solution to their problem. Okay, and then next is get super certain. So we're going to dig into this, get super certain. Okay, next is draw a contrast if they go to an alternative, right? So draw a contrast if they move to alternative thoughts. We'll just put it at that. And we'll come back to all of this, so don't go crazy. Just write it all down, all right? And then finally, why now? All right, so let's dig into this. Identifying the perfect market or buyer. This is very important. Whether you're selling, whatever you're selling, title, real estate, mortgage, whatever it is, bicycles, lollipops, cake, like, beef, roofing, whatever it is, you have to identify the appropriate market and the appropriate buyer, or one or the other. They don't always coincide together, okay? So identifying the perfect market is understanding who I'm going after, right? So when I talk to real estate agents, and real estate agents are my clients, and they say, I want to sell in this particular area, I go, that's great. Tell me about the sales in that area. Like, what's the history of sales in that area? And when they come back with the history of the sales in that area, and it's not as great as they imagined it to be, right? Then I go, okay, well, maybe that's not the best area to market to. It's not the appropriate market for us. Again, this goes back to if you are a butcher, you're not opening up a butcher shop in a predominantly vegan, clean, eco-friendly neighborhood. Like, these are the types of things you really need to understand. You can't just look at something and go, there's no butcher shop in this neighborhood. Huh, I'm going to open one and I'm going to dominate this market. Well, there might be a reason why there's not one there, right? And then, so when we talk about the buyer, we identify the appropriate buyer or the appropriate customer, the appropriate client that we are trying to work with, that we're trying to adapt our business to, that we're trying to sell to at the end of the day, right? Where's my money, right? And so we take that piece, we move it to understanding or seeing their current reality. Where are they today, right? So now, we've drawn this chart before, and I learned this chart from a great friend of mine, Josh Ford. He's a great coach. And he says, this is where people are. This is where they want to be, right? So reality of where they are and the dream of where they want to be. And there's a gap between these two things. There's a reason why this was down here, this was up here, because all of us, where we want to be is suggestive to an upgrade of where we are. Okay, so this gap right here is your solution. Simple as that. Think about that for a moment. This is the reality of where they are. And if you can truly understand where they are, and then you understand where they want to be, you can provide the solution and get them to where they want to be. Here's the crazy part. Every time you get somebody to where they want to be, they will pay you, they will love you, and they will refer you. I just made that up. I love it. I'm coining that. Don't copy me. Okay? No, I'm kidding. They will pay you, they will love you, and they will refer you to more people, right? All right. So next piece is, what do they want to buy? What do they truly want to buy, right? And this is better understood if you follow our meeting method and allow them the opportunity to talk to you at a high level, right? This is better understood when you truly understand their current reality. Whatever their current reality is, if you can understand where they're trying to get to, you can understand what they actually want to buy. What is it that they want? What are they truly buying? Is it your service? Is it your expertise? Is it the steak? Is it the house? What is it that they're doing, right? So for instance, in most service-based businesses, people are buying the opportunity to be treated the way that they desire to be treated. In other businesses, like let's say a food place, right? People will go to a restaurant because the food is good and what they really want is a great steak. But sometimes you will pay more and eat better because you got great customer service and the place was beautiful and the aesthetics were amazing and there were palm trees and there were people, the servers were out of control and they were amazing and the Regis trained everybody and you get what I'm saying, right? Or the Ritz trained everybody, and you get what I'm saying, where you will pay more for those pieces. You will pay more to be in those positions, right? And so what do they really want, okay? And that's for you to figure out. So you figure out the solution to their problem, which will come back to here, right? You figure out the solution to their problem. And by the way, we don't need to beat this dead horse anymore. We've truly understood that there's a solution and there's a problem. You figuring it out is value, right? We beat that and beat that and beat that and put that into the course, okay? Now, this is the opportunity where you get super certain. This is one of my favorite pieces, right? If you do not believe that your position, your company, or your product can provide the appropriate solution for that particular client, then you will not be able to sell them. If I did not believe that this course was worth every penny that you paid for it, I would not have been able to sell it to you. Because if I don't believe it, how can I transmit the energy and make you believe it? If Elon Musk did not believe that he can take shuttles and take them out into space and bring them back and land them again, he wouldn't be doing it right now. because that belief is extremely important all the way through. And we talked about this very early on in the method, where we spoke about the importance of confidence and belief in one's self and product. And so you have to get super certain that your solution is the right solution for them. And by the way, those who understand this at a high level are 100% more than willing to walk away from a client that they know for a fact that they cannot service, help, or attend to. I have had people come to me and want to pay me for something that I know for a fact I do not do. I do not service, like coaching in certain things or coaching in certain places where I am not comfortable, or certain ages, right? And so those pieces, you know, you need to know when to walk away. You need to know when to say no. But if your product is what it is, and you have put something together, and as we spoke about your real premier offering, if your product is as strong as it is, you need to be ultimately super certain and throughout the process of discussing it with this client. Then you need to understand that you can draw contrast if they start to think of alternative methods or thoughts. This is really great, but this other company does this, or this is really great, but I have this relationship, or this is and so forth and so on. You need to be prepared for those objections and help draw the contrast if they begin to think of alternative thoughts, okay? And then this is the biggest question. Why now? Why work with you now? Why buy your stuff now? Why utilize your service now? What is it about now that makes it so critical for you to work with this person? What is it about now? Other than the fact that you want to build as much business as you can and get paid as many times as you can, what is it about now that really dominates and creates a fantastic situation for you? What is it? Right? And so you need to be able to relay this message as you continue along, okay? Now, let's go into our avatar and identifying the perfect avatar. So let's just talk for a while. Identifying the perfect audience, identifying the perfect person. First of all, defining demographics, exploring the psychographics of it all. So values, interests, hobbies, attitudes, etc., right? And then analyzing behaviors like buying habits, pain points, challenges, goals, etc. So I want you to really think about this, right? You know, think about your avatar. People go, who's your avatar? Real estate agents. Or who's your avatar? First-time homebuyers. Or who's your avatar? You know, I don't know, lenders. Or who's your avatar? You know, luxury homebuyers, second homebuyers, waterfront, blah, blah, blah. All right, but it gets deeper than that, right? And so what I want you to do, right? What I want you to do is I want you to highly define your avatar with as an assignment, okay? And what I'm going to do is there will be a worksheet under this video, and that worksheet's going to help you define this avatar. But here's the crazy part, right? We want you to really think about age, gender, location, income, values, interests, hobbies, attitudes, buying habits, pain points, challenges, goals. All of those things matter, okay? Then conduct the market research behind it, right? So you're going to utilize online tools and resources to handle your market research, see what's moving, see what's not moving, who's saturated, who's not saturated, who's dying for your product, who's not dying for your product, right? Collect and analyze this. You can do this, by the way, through surveys, interviews, focus groups. So one of the things that we talk about sometimes, interviews, is holding group interviews or podcasts or webinars or group trainings or things of that nature to really get into people's heads and ask them the questions. Don't just give the training, but ask the group questions, right? And so this will give you live, almost live surveys. You could send surveys out by email, understanding the better opinions of what your product is and understanding it at a very high level, okay? And then Identify trends, patterns, opportunities for your target market. So what's happening in that target market? What is the trend? What is the opportunity? What is true? What is not? Like those are the things you get a massive focus on, right? And then here's the bigger part, okay? You got to create the buyer persona. What do I mean by that? Let me explain this to you because I wrote this down. Buyer personas are fictional representations of your ideal customers, helping you better understand their needs, preferences, and pain points. What? Hold on a second. So when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about my avatar, I am putting together the perfect avatar, which means it's fictional, right? And it's this fictional representation of what I believe is going to be my ideal client. And that helps me better understand, or helps you better understand their needs, their preferences, and their pain points, right? And the better you understand your avatar, the less surprised you are when people give you their pain points, when they tell you what's wrong, when they give you the opportunity to provide a solution and value. Okay, so understanding the needs, preferences, and the pain points, huge piece, right? Defining key attributes of buyer personas. What are the key attributes? What are the key pieces of their personas? Crafting compelling narratives for each persona, right? So the conversations that you have, craft that narrative ahead of time. Like I said, if you understand your avatar at a high level, the less, when you have those meetings, the less surprised you'll be when they come up with stuff, right? And then using buyer personas to guide sales and marketing strategies, right? Because if you know your avatar at a high level, then your marketing strategy will be towards them. So if I work with first-time home buyers in this particular area, of this particular age range, of this particular ethnicity, of this particular education level, of this particular income level, if I can understand all that, and this is how they feel, and this is what they desire, and this is what they're hurting, and this is what their main problem is, and this is the solution that they need, I can create marketing material that talks to them if I know where they are. And that's where the area research is, right? And so taking that in at a high level allows you the opportunity to really like target, focus your marketing so that you're not just speaking openly to the world. You're not just talking to everybody. Okay. All right. So tailoring your sales strategies. Okay. Big piece, right? So we just talked about that right now. I wrote this down. By aligning your approach with the needs and preferences of your target audience, you can increase your chances of success and drive more conversations. I'm going to repeat that again to you, right? By aligning your approach with the needs and preferences of your target audience, you can increase the chances of success and drive more conversations. Again, that target marketing, speaking to them through video, through flyer, through whatever marketing material you create, but speaking directly to them and customizing your message and your communication channels directly to them. Personalizing product offerings, right? Like this one thing is just, it's so perfect for you, right? Building rapport and trust with your target audience, because if they're hearing you and they are your avatar and they desire this thing, whatever it is that you have, they're going to begin to trust you the more they see you, because they're going to say, this person knows what I'm going through, and this person knows what I want, and this person has the linear line, the line here to get me to where I want to be. And so I need to speak to this person. That is the trust that you're developing in somebody by going through these pieces like this, okay? Now, targeting your audience, we're going to talk about 3 strategies of sales success, okay? So first one is personalized messaging. We've talked about this quite a bit, all right? So let's go. First one is personalized messaging. So write these down. Okay, personalized messaging. Okay, so this is where you understand where your target audience is, what your avatar's pay points are, your goal and communication style, and you create messaging that resonates and drives engagement. This is what we were just talking about, right? And we've talked about how we do this. We talk about how we do this through video, through when you're following up with somebody, you know that if you did the right messaging and those people reached out to you and you called them because they reached out to you via your website, via whatever, a text campaign, whatever, they saw your sign, they saw your flyer, they saw your post, whatever it is, and now you're reaching back out to them and you're doing the call, the voicemail, right? You're doing the text, the video text, and the email. You're doing all of it, and you're going to personalize those messages in accordance to that particular avatar, the person that you're looking to work with, the person that you're trying to connect with, right? And so you're going to identify the pain points and challenge that avatar. You're going to craft compelling narratives that address the specific needs, and you're going to utilize language and tone that allows you to align with their preferences, right? Okay. So I'm sorry I keep looking this way. I should have like my notes in front of me, but of course I have the camera in front of me because I like to make sure that you can actually see what I'm doing, right? Okay. So let's do some. So right now, okay, let's talk about identifying key pain points and challenges of your avatar. When you identify the key pain points and the challenges of your avatar, you get to craft the perfect message by crafting and compelling the narrative that addresses their specific needs. Let's go back to first-time homebuyers, right? Just for that. And I say this because they have the biggest pain point. Never purchased a home before. Don't know what credit means. Don't know how to save money. Don't know. There's so much they don't know. So if you can craft a compelling message that says you don't need a lot of money to purchase a house, you can buy a house with an FHA with 3.5% down. By the way, if you serve this country, you're a veteran, it's 0% down, like et cetera, right? And so now you're addressing their particular challenges, their particular specific needs. And then you're going to utilize language and tone that allows that aligns with their preferences. Like when I speak to you in this class, I speak with hype because that has to be the tone, because you're watching a video that is educational and that's training and that's coaching. And if I talk like this the entire time, you will not be able to watch my video because you would probably fall asleep on me. Does that make sense to y'all? Right? And so you have to utilize the proper tone. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I truly understand that credit may have failed you, that the United States may have failed you, that the banks may have failed you, that credit cards may have failed you. I know, I've been there, I've done that. My family are immigrants into this country, and we understand what it meant to put all of that together. And I want to help you avoid hitting the brick walls that I hit to buy my first house in the United States. I want to help you understand how to create your credit, how to fix your credit, how to build your credit. I want you to understand how to save the appropriate amount of money, what financial planning really looks like. And by the way, I'm not going to do this for a lot of money. I'm going to do this to help you. And what I'm going to do in the process is I'm going to ask that we work together to buy your home, because my goal is to get you from where you are today into the home of your own that your family can keep in their households forever and ever. Like, that's the tone. That's the tone that you want, right? That's the tone that you want to give people. When you tell a sad story, you speak with a sad tone. When you're excited, you talk with excitement, right? And so that's the kind of stuff that I'm focusing on, right? All right, so now your offer, we talked about the offer at a big level, right? We talked about the offer, right? Okay, so in this particular piece, we say that the offer is tailored to the solution, right? And we've always said that. We said that if you sit down with somebody, okay, and you're having a meeting with this somebody and you allow them to talk, they will give you the problem. And a lot of times they will give you the answers for many of those problems while they're sitting there because they know what to do, but they need to hear you say it. Okay. And so it gives you the opportunity to tailor solutions that address their pain points and fulfill their desires. And this will help you increase customer satisfaction and loyalty, by the way. Like the more that you're able, the more that you're able to address pain points, the more that you're able to fulfill their desires, you can increase satisfaction, which means that you're going to increase a referral base. You're going to increase repeat business, all of that stuff. That loyalty, you can't buy that loyalty. That loyalty comes from you tailoring the solutions and addressing their pain points. Excuse me. All right, so analyze feedback and insights from your market research to identify product enhancements, right? So develop new features and offerings based on preferences for your avatar, and then price your strategies that reflect the perceived value for your target audience, right? So whatever, like if it's a house, it's a house. You know what a house is worth because you do the comparables. But if you're providing a service, is my pricing strategy right? Am I reflected by the value? Is it reflecting the value that I bring to my target audience? Okay. And then, so that was customized product offering. So we did that. This is personalized message, customize. I'm just going to put, we say product offering, but customize your offering. Okay. And then number 3, because we said we would talk about 3 sales strategies, is strategic communication channels. Okay. Okay, strategic communication channels. So what is strategic communication channels? This is where you know, where you begin to understand where your audience spends the majority of their time and how they prefer to engage. Are they on social media a lot? Are they on their phones a lot? Are they checking their emails all the time? Like, who is your audience, right? If your audience is super wealthy, etc., like high level people, they may not be on social media all the time. The engagement with them may have to be through email and may have to be through call. Some of them may not even like to text. If you're working with a millennial group, chances are texting is going to be the best option, or social media preference. If you're working with a younger group, they want to see videos of you, right? Like, know the channels and know where they prefer to engage, where you have to meet the client where they are. And we've talked about this a little bit, like, you know, my client's here, I can't be over here. So when we talked about disc profiles, and we said, if this person is this type and you're this type, you can't be up here and leave them down here by themselves. You have to meet them where they are. You have to mirror your client, right? And so this is that in communication. Where is your client communicating the most, and where are they super hyper focused? And then take that piece and use that to know where you're going to be engaging with them the most. That's going to help you maximize the impact in your marketing efforts, right? So identify the preferred communication channels, definitely based on demographic and psychographic data. Leverage your social media platforms, of course, email marketing, right? Digital channels, okay? WhatsApp, all that good stuff, right? I don't know if many of you know, but if you have WhatsApp business, you can actually run ads on WhatsApp, right? So it's the craziest thing ever. And then integrate offline channels such as events, networking, direct mail campaigns. Like, does your audience like, do they check their mailboxes and check their stuff? Do they like to go to events? Do they like to do networking? Do they like that kind of stuff, right? And so those are the top 3, I would say, strategies of sales success when it comes to targeting your avatar. Okay. Targeting your avatar is super critical, is super important, guys. Like, I can say this over and over again, but you cannot sell the right stuff to the wrong people. I'm gonna write that down. You cannot sell the right stuff to the wrong people. You just can't do it. You have the right stuff. You know your stuff's good to go because you have confidence in your product, but you cannot sell the right stuff to the wrong people. For instance, if you have a high ticket item that's expensive, you can't sell it to broke people. So stop sitting down and having coffee with the wrong people, right? If you're dependent on people referring you clients, like, for instance, title and mortgage, if you're dependent on real estate agents who refer you buyers and sellers, right, to work with you and your platform and your service, and you keep having coffee with people that don't have buyers and sellers and don't close deals, that's your fault. You might have the absolute best products in the world. You might have the best customer service. You might have the most amazing bedside, tableside manner, but You cannot sell the right stuff, your stuff, to the wrong people. And that's a big piece. And that's where this entire avatar piece comes in. So let's do a little revisit on the avatar, because I really, really, really want you guys to hone in on this, right? So we said, identify the market or the buyer, see them in their current reality, understand what they want to buy, figure out the solution you have to their problem, get super certain that your product is the product, the only product, the best product, right? Draw a contrast that they decide to talk about alternatives, and explain to them why now is the right time to do it. And when you're understanding your target audience and you're conducting the right market research and you're creating buyer personas for you to tailor your entire sales strategy to, there's no stopping you. So when you start doing marketing, because all the stuff we've been talking about is working with the people right around us, but when you start to market, because you've worked with so many people around you, and this is where I really get hard on you. So many people are doing marketing before they even understand who the avatar is. They're out there just, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm going to throw as much as I can on the wall and see how much of it sticks. But if you've worked with enough people in your circle, you understand your avatar at the highest levels ever. And when you understand your avatar at the highest levels ever, then you can target all of your marketing efforts, the stuff you begin to pay for, because everything we've been talking about is free. So the stuff you begin to pay for, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to push forward. That's the kind of stuff that you know exactly who your avatar is. You know exactly who you're marketing to. You know exactly what to say. You know exactly what your strategy is. You know exactly what your pitch is. You know your audience, so you customize all communication to that particular audience, right? Then we talked about the top three strategies of sales success when it comes to your avatar. And that was personalizing your messages, customizing your product offering, and strategic communication channels, right? So again, just digging in, this is really understanding the right message, understanding your right offer, and then presenting it to them where they are, okay? Presenting it to them where they are. So this session right here is all about really understanding at a very high level who you're working with, how you're going to work with them, and how you're going to communicate with them. All right. So again, do the worksheet, post it in the school, you know, make sure you post it, make sure you put needs review, right? Accountability. Okay. And let's talk about it. Let's discuss this stuff. Okay. I want to see you guys really producing at a high level and doing this like to the extreme. I want to see you guys succeeding at a very high level. And so those of you who are going to do this and really sit down and think about this, especially those of you that have enough experience to really dial down on this, I expect to see some magic happen from this. And by understanding this, you'll know who to say no to in the future. All right, guys, see you in the next session.